Yo, what it do, you too? It's your boy Cash Entertainment here, and we back with another reaction video. Today we're gonna be reacting to Avengers Doomsday, Steve Rogers trailer breakdown. I'm just gonna react to this instead of reacting to the trailer because that shit was like only like a minute and 50. It didn't show anything, but we're gonna react to this, refresh my memory of what happened in Marvel and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
The
Let's
first
do it.
teaser for Avengers Doomsday is here, and it reveals new information about the ending of Doomsday and a hint about Doctor Doom's master plan. Welcome back, Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy, and this is all of the Easter eggs, references, and little things you might have.
I'm gonna put myself up. Yeah, I'm gonna put myself over here.
Missed in this first trailer for Avengers Doomsday. Now, before you ask, we saw this teaser in the theaters in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. It is the best way to see anything. If you're able to, please buy
It's
it.
kind of crazy. They put a trailer. Well, it might have been before, right? Like the previews. They showed previews before the movies. It probably was like that. There's no way it happened after that.
Ticket and go to the
No
movies.
way.
But because the trailer did not officially release online,
I still haven't seen this. I have not seen Fantastic Four. I do have Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? I just haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I don't know. Like I have a lot. I don't have it on this computer though. I only have it on my laptop. But I don't know, man. Also, yo, let me know if y'all want to react. If y'all want me to react to some like anime, bro. You know what I mean? Now I don't know. I might get a copy strike for that shit. But hey, we gonna see though, cause I love me some anime. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to the video though.
we're going to show some screenshots for this breakdown. But mostly, we're going to talk about what the trailer tells us about this
Definitely
movie and
didn't
some
see that in
theories
the
that we
trailer, though.
might have just had confirmed. So let's get into the teaser itself. We begin by seeing the house from Endgame. Here's House. Well, the Russo brothers have said that this movie is actually a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame, which
Okay.
is, by the way, a perfect decision because it solves a key problem of the multiverse saga. See, Marvel's Infinity Saga was told in 3 phases that were punctuated by Avengers films, and then those films wrapped up the stories of each phase. And meanwhile, all of the individual characters had their own franchises and their own story arcs that we would then see culminate in Avengers films like Infinity War. But in the multiverse saga, we haven't really had that. Characters haven't gotten solo franchises. I mean, the closest we've come is a Captain America TV show followed by a Captain America movie. Otherwise, it's mostly been a bunch of like one-off films and seasons of TV, which means that Doomsday could have just been filled with characters explaining who they are and what they want. Like a lot of those scenes in the Thunderbolts.
The infamous Ghost, a SHIELD reject on the run from 15 nations?
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
But everybody saw Avengers Endgame, so it's natural to make a sequel to that film. So in that movie, the Avengers time travel to gather Infinity Stones, but they were inadvertently setting up the multiverse saga and the
I also think, right? Funny enough that his picture came up. Now, I remember when they announced that Robert Downey Jr. was gonna play Doctor Doom, and I was thinking, that's great. A lot of people were like, nah, like, oh my god, like he might mess up the character. I think that Robert Downey Jr. knows that, like, yo, if I messed up this character, I'm cooked. Like I'm done. I think Robert Downey Jr. is gonna do a fantastic job as Doctor Doom. I really do think so. I really do. You know what I mean? I have high hopes for him as Doctor Doom for sure. One of my favorite villains is for
Eyes
sure,
of Doctor
100%.
Doom. And this takes us back to the house. All right, remember when Loki stole the Tesseract? Well, afterwards, he went off into the show Loki and yada yada yada. His actions caused the multiverse to branch, creating endless alternate realities. And on top of that, Steve Rogers ended the movie with a quest to return the Infinity Stones to their home realities. But instead of returning to the time platform where he left, he appears as an old man on a bench and gives the shield to Sam Wilson. Now, this has been the enduring mystery of Avengers Endgame. We've always wondered, would we ever get like an animated series that showed what happened to Steve when he returned the stones? Where did that shield even come from? Well, now we know that Avengers Doomsday could be giving us the answers.
Oh,
See, when
shit.
Steve traveled back in time and lived a life of peace with Peggy, it actually caused some controversy within the Endgame creative team. The writers, Marcus and McFeely, claimed that Steve had lived his whole life in the reality that we know. That he was in the background of all of these events the whole time, that he was Peggy Carter's mysterious husband, that this old guy could have been him at the funeral. But the Russo brothers, recognizing that this is, how would Nick Fury say it?
The stupid ass decision.
Claimed that Steve was actually living in a separate other reality. Now, this trailer seems to confirm that Steve did live on another branch timeline. But, as we'll talk about, his actions may have created Doctor Doom and doomed the multiverse. Now,
Oh shit.
Doug,
Yes.
are you downloading the trailer from the internet?
Yes.
And did you accidentally turn off the VPN?
Yes.
Here, let me fix that. There. Guys, this is why we always use NordVPN here in the store. It is the absolute best ad blocker I have ever used, and that's just one of the many, many benefits I get from being a NordVPN customer in movies that are offer security, protection, defend yourself online. When I didn't use VPN consistently, use it on the link below. This month's for NordVPN for you. Keep making videos like this one. Again, to get a huge screen crush.
These ads. I hate them.
Now we see that it
I'm not gonna pay for it though. You know what I mean?
was just the beginning. A Triumph motorcycle pulls up to the house, and remember, Steve loves his motorcycles. In the comics and in the movies, it's his go-to vehicle. Now here, I want to shout out one of our fans on Twitter, Street Cataluna, who says that Triumph Scrambler from the Avengers Doomsday teaser has an 865cc engine, which started manufacturing around 2008-2009, so unless Peggy had a baby at 87, these could be different seats. Good point, but I'll just say that this is an alternate reality, so maybe the Russo brothers took some creative liberties with the manufacturing specs of this motorcycle. The first hint that this is Captain America is the helmet. So like all through the trailer, we do see Steve wearing some variation of red, white, or blue. And the helmet is reminiscent of the uniform that Reb Brown wore in the 1970s Captain America TV movie. Now here, let's pause for a moment and explain what exactly Steve is in an alternate reality actually means. So the moment that Steve traveled back
So, Steve, he's selfish, right? That means Steve's. Hold on now. Hold on now. That means that means that was selfish. So basically, what you're telling me is because he went to alternate reality and lived his whole life with Peggy, he created Doctor Doom. This nigga's like the Flash, and I love the Flash, but you know how because even though I get it, right? You want to go back in time to live with your your dead wife or girlfriend, or in the Flash's case, in Barry's case, you want to go back in time and save your mother, right? In the show, because I remember I used to watch the Flash back in middle school, all the seasons, except for like the newest ones. And I remember the Flash goes back in time to save his mother, but in doing so, this nigga created an alternate reality. You know what I'm saying? So, and they were calling him like selfish for doing that, right? Me personally, I understand it, right? But that means Steve was selfish. Instead of just returning the stones and coming back, this nigga wanted to live his life with Peggy in an alternate reality, creating Doctor Doom. This nigga it's selfish. It's Steve's fault. Fuck that nigga.
in time.
Don't fuck Captain America. But pause. That sounds crazy. But like that's basically what that tells me. That's selfish, bro. Like why would he do that? I don't know why that rubbed me the wrong way. Cause like the Flash did the same thing, and look what the Flash did, right? So basically, what I'm getting from this is Captain America created Doctor Doom.
And reunited with Peggy, this would have created an alternate timeline splitting off from the main MCU timeline. But in that new timeline, there still would have been a Steve Rogers frozen in a block of ice. So it's possible that Steve instead found a reality where he actually died fighting the Red Skull and then returned to Peggy there. That way there's not two Steves running around at the same time. I've also always wondered if Steve was actually able to retire in this new reality. Could Steve Rogers actually step aside, knowing that Bucky was out there being brainwashed by Hydra, knowing eventually that Thanos would gather the Infinity Stones and cause so much suffering across the universe? I actually think that in this new reality, Steve would have devoted the first few years to fixing all of these problems. I don't think he would immediately stop being Captain America. He would free Bucky and take steps to prevent Thanos' snap and Howard's death, and then he would retire. And I think this is why we see him taking his uniform from the dresser and then storing it in a box. Symbolically, this is the moment when the old soldier decides that he can finally rest. Also notice that this is the uniform he wore at the end of Endgame. Now, this is significant because it has the comic accurate scales. Steve went on a journey throughout the MCU to finally arrive at wearing this uniform. Remember, he wore several different iterations before he finally became his most pure, comic accurate self. I also think that this is confirming that this is indeed the Steve that we saw at the end of Avengers Endgame, who we were following all throughout the MCU, and he's not just some variant of Steve Rogers. But the biggest twist of this trailer is that Steve and Peggy had a child.
Yeah,
at least we're presuming this is Steve's child from the way he's glowing when he looks at them. Now, when Steve visited Peggy in The Winter Soldier, we did see photos of 2 children at her bedside. Now, at the time, I thought, okay, those are like distant family, that could be young Sharon, or these were the kids that she had with her secret unseen husband. We're not sure if these are the kids that she had with Steve, but from the way Steve's looking at this baby, there is no doubt in my mind that this kid is his. And I think this kid is going to be key to Avengers Doomsday. Otherwise, they would not have meant a baby for this plot. Now, I should note that Steve has had children in other media, though being a father is not like part of his current main story in the comics. In the animated show Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow, he and Black Widow had a son, and there's also Sharon Rogers from the game Marvel Future Fight. But for the most part, Steve has been defined by his isolation and loneliness, so being a happy family man is new creative territory for this movie. Now, before we get into the back half of this trailer, let's talk about what we actually know about Avengers Doomsday before we speculate on this child and their role in the movie. Like I said earlier, this movie is a direct sequel to Endgame. Now, the multiverse saga continued many stories of existing characters, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Thor, but the newer stories like Eternals, Moon Knight, Shang-Chi haven't gotten follow-ups yet. So this has been a saga without...
Side note. Side note. I love Moon Knight. Just side note. Moon Knight season 2, bruh. What are y'all doing, Marvel? Fire show.
A clear narrative through line, where characters had distinct arcs that we followed throughout their solo films. Now, because the multiverse saga never developed a single main character or core of characters, they're going back to the well with the original Avengers. This is why the Russo brothers have instead chosen to continue the story of Avengers Endgame. And that movie did leave a big unanswered question. How the hell did Steve Rogers get on that bench? What was his life? Now, before we go into Doctor Doom and how he's created by all of this, I want to show you guys this kick-ass new shirt at our merch store for the Latvian Doomsday celebration. Note the year 1984, the original Secret Wars comic release date. We also have Tony Stark creating Ultron, I Hate You 3000, and lots more items in our merch store. The links for those are below. I love that shirt. Mine's in the mail. I can't wait till it gets here. Thank you for supporting our channel. Now, here's what we know about Doomsday. The Russo brothers have said that only Robert Downey Jr. could play this version of Doctor Doom, and they confirmed that he is indeed a variant of Tony Stark and not just a comic-accurate portrayal of Doctor Doom who happens to look like Robert Downey Jr. And we can also presume that the story of this movie will be based on the comic story Time Runs Out, which is about the Avengers / the Illuminati trying to save their universes from incursions. And they do this by making a trolley problem decision. They decide to destroy another universe to save their own. We also know that this movie has a huge cast. A teaser revealed cast chairs for 27 people, and Kevin Feige said that half the cast wasn't even announced. The chairs also included members of 2 different Avengers teams. There's the Thunderbolts team, and then there's the team that Sam Wilson is putting together that will likely include himself, Falcon, maybe Shang-Chi, we're not sure who else. Now, the Thunderbolts post-credit scene was filmed by the Russo brothers, so it's likely that it's a scene that is directly lifted from this movie, similar to the Ant-Man post-credit scene that was lifted from Captain America Civil War. Now, in this scene, we see the Thunderbolts are kind of languishing because they're looking to build their legitimacy. Sam is going to sue them for the name The Avengers, and Yelena mentions a crisis. This is followed by the Fantastic Four ship entering into the atmosphere. And the chairs also revealed characters from different universes. We have the Fox X-Men universe with the return of Professor X, Magneto, Nightcrawler, and Beast, and remember, Monica Rambeau is also stranded in the X-Men universe at the end of the Marvels.
You are now in a reality parallel to your own.
And we also know that the Fantastic Four will be in the movie, both from the chairs and their own mid-credits scene. That scene was also directed by the Russo brothers, so it could be in the movie. It shows Susan Richards discovering that her son Franklin is speaking to Doctor Doom. Now, in the movie, we saw that Franklin was...
That was so tough. Yo, I seen that edit on TikTok of that.
...was an enormously powerful cosmic...
I seen the edit. I seen the edit of that clip, and the MF Doom song or instrumental was playing. Oh my god, it was so tough. It was so tough, bro. I don't think that's in the actual movie, it should be though. It should be. That's fire. The little instrumental
being just like in the comics.
Doctor
in
Doom.
Fact,
oh my god, they can't mess this up. This is, oh my god. Oh, 2026 finna be the year of movies again,
After
man.
the
You know what I mean?
2015 Secret Wars, when all the multiverse was destroyed, Franklin went around creating new universes for his family to explore. So, if he has similar powers in the MCU, this could be why Doom needs him.
What do you mean?
Alright, well, we've talked about this in past videos, but it's easy to see how Tony Stark could become a supervillain. He's a narcissist, a control freak. And then there's this line.
That what we needed was a pseudo armor around the world. Remember that? Whether it impacted our precious freedoms.
The Russos have also said that Doom's origin is tied to the snap in Endgame, so we think it's likely that the first scene in the movie is the snap, something goes wrong, and then Tony's left with a scarred face and he has godlike power, and that will turn him into Doctor Doom.
So what does Dr. Doom want?
Well, think about the messy-ass multiverse right now. We have seen universes like trillions of lives become threatened because Peter Parker wanted to go to MIT, and the big threat to the multiverse are incursions. Roll the clip.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
Now, we've seen incursions happen, throughout the multiverse saga. Doctor Strange messing with time, Doctor Strange using the Darkhold, Doctor Strange trying to get Peter into college. Okay, so let me rephrase. We have seen Doctor Strange cause a lot of incursions. Tony would see this messiness and he would want to streamline it into a cleaner system, a single universe contained with the suit of armor. And Franklin is the kid who can create a new universe for him. So let's go back to the trailer. A lot of the Avengers now have children. Steve, Tony, Scott, Clint, Thor, and Hulk. For years, we have been speculating that Marvel was putting together a young Avengers team, or maybe they're now called the Champions, including all the heroes they've introduced, like Ms. Marvel, Cassie Lang, Kate Bishop, who, by the way, will be in her 30s if that series ever happens, America Chavez, Billy, Tommy, and more. In fact, this new team was even...
Who the fuck is that? Who is that? More. Who is that? Who was that? Yeah.
teased at the end of the Marvels.
What do you want? I'm putting.
Bro, when are they gonna add Miles? When is he? How is he gonna? You know? Wait, hold on. Does Sony still have the rights to Miles Morales? I don't know, but bro, when is how? I really want to know. I think. Side note: this is my prediction with Spider-Man: Brand New Day that's coming out in July, right next year. I think we're gonna get a teaser of Miles by the end of it. I don't know why. I feel it. I feel it. Because why not, bro? Like, I feel, even though the animated series, the animated movies, that shit got delayed or whatever, but I think we're going to get a live action Miles. I think so.
Together a team. And I want you on it.
But what if Tony...
Also, another side note, bro. Technically speaking, right? We all saw Endgame and the Infinity War. Ant-Man's daughter should not be the age she is, right? Because the blip was 5 years. And I think the daughter didn't get blipped, right? Yeah, the daughter didn't get blipped. So the blip was 5 years in Earth in real time. How is she, 1920? And before she got blipped, wasn't she like 13 or something? I don't even know, bro. I always had a problem with that, because wasn't she like 11 or 10 when the blip happened, when the snap happened? It's only 5 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? If she was 10 at the most, she would be 15. I don't know. I don't know.
Doom is gathering these kids together. Now, this could be for revenge. Like on our live stream the other day, I heard a great theory. What if Steve actually caused the creation of Doctor Doom?
What do you mean?
Well, what if Steve altering time and raising a family caused an incursion, and that incursion destroyed Tony Doom's universe? Maybe he would want revenge. Steve destroyed his daughter, so he'll take his child in return. But I think Doom's goal was more direct than that. I think Doom specifically needs the power of these kids to create his new universe. Think about it. Franklin is a battery filled with cosmic energy. Steve and Peggy's child is literally born from two universes. Scar is also born of two worlds and has the Hulk's immunity to the gamma radiation of the Infinity Stones. And the Infinity Stones are made from the literal energy of the Big Bang, which was the creation of a universe. And don't forget Thor's adopted daughter, Love. She was resurrected by Eternity, who is the embodiment of the universe, and she is also filled with his cosmic energy. And if we want to bring the young Avengers into this, Billy Maximoff from Agatha All Along.
When the fuck did he have a kid, bro? What's going on? I haven't seen nothing. I gotta catch up, bro.
Has the powers of his mom to create and warp reality. Hell, Kamala Khan can tap into the energy of the Nord dimension and create solid light objects, and America Chavez is one of the few beings in all of the universe who can transverse universes without causing incursions. So you can see why Doctor Doom would want all of these children, to give himself the power to create a new universe. Love has the raw power of the universe. Franklin is the conduit. Scar is the governor who keeps the energy limited so it doesn't go out of control. Billy is the shaper. America Chavez is the gateway, and Steve's child could have the energy of multiple realities in his veins. Hell, he might even have cosmic energy in his veins if you believe that the super soldier serum is derived from vibranium or the heart-shaped herb.
That is literally the coolest sentence anyone has ever said.
And so, I don't know if you're counting, but that is 6 kids, just like 6 Infinity Stones and 6 conduits to create a new Big Bang, a new perfect universe that Doctor Doom can control and shape. And this is where I think Steve Rogers would enter the picture, bringing us full circle back to this trailer. Doom wants his kid, similar to the dilemma that the Fantastic Four faced in their movie when Galactus would spare Earth in exchange for Franklin. Doom could even explain, your child will become part of a new universe and you could save trillions of lives. But you know what Papa Steve would say?
We don't trade lives, Vision.
So, as Doctor Doom is gathering his power, Steve can open up his time-space GPS again and assemble this multiversal Avengers team to stop him. All of these movies could then be leading to one moment, showing how Steve Rogers got from the time platform to the bench. Which brings us to the question of, where did his shield come from? Steve's shield was broken, but he gave a fully repaired shield to Sam. Now, years ago, we posted a theory video about that Steve actually sees Sam using the shield when he's Captain America, and he's really impressed. So when Sam says it feels like the shield belongs to someone else, Steve replies,
It isn't.
and he knows that because he saw Sam use the shield. Now, this does open up a whole other complicated can of worms. It's retrocausality, or the grandfather paradox, meaning that nobody ever actually repaired the shield. Steve just took it from Sam and then gave it back to Sam.
More like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
It's also saying that the MCU is on a time loop. Now, if Secret Wars does lead to Steve being old Steve on the bench, then that means that the whole thing just starts all over again. And we know that's probably not going to happen. Kevin Feige has said that they're going to do a soft reset of the universe after Secret Wars. And in this new universe, we know we're going to get a new, younger X-Men team, and basically everything's going to be streamlined and no more multiverse.
Really? Oh boy, that's a relief.
So that means, okay, never mind then. That means Miles Morales might show up after that then, if that's the case.
And maybe Steve having a kid, Steve Jr., will be like T'Challa Jr. Maybe this means that we'll have a new Steve Rogers Captain America. Or, at the very least, maybe Chris Evans' return means that they'll use Hulk's time machine to move time backwards through old Steve, and then a recast Captain America will be a leader of the new MCU. But what do you guys think about this teaser? Do you like Marvel's strategy of these little micro teasers leading up over 4 weeks, or do you think that they're being really mean to creators like me? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on all of our theories, and if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video, you could check it out, you can look it up yourself. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more daily videos. It's your boy, Cash Entertainment.